Okay, let's be real, pretty much everyone wants to grow their net worth. But the real question is, how do you do it fast? Well, I'm here to tell you it's not about getting lucky. It's about having a solid game plan. Today, we're going to break down the exact strategy to build wealth and to do it quickly and effectively. So let's dive right in. So, this is the big question, isn't it? How do we actually speed up the process of building wealth? It turns out it's not some secret formula locked away in a vault. It's really just about having a smart, intentional strategy. I want you to think about building wealth like it's a game. Seriously. And in any game, if you want to win, you need a plan. Our plan has three core parts: a powerful offense to grow your income, a rock-solid defense to protect that wealth, and an automated system that keeps the whole thing running smoothly in the background without you even thinking about it. First up, let's talk offense. This is all about getting proactive and aggressively increasing the amount of money you bring in. It's honestly the most direct way to start building some serious momentum. And this quote from the investor Naval Ravikant, man, it just hits the nail on the head. He's basically saying that trading your time for money, even if you're a highly paid doctor or lawyer, has a ceiling. You can only work so many hours. The real wealth acceleration happens when you own equity, when you have a piece of the business, a piece of the upside. So you can see the two paths pretty clearly here. On one side, your income is directly tied to the hours you put in. On the other side, you've got equity. Now, this doesn't just mean you have to go start a huge company. It can be things like sales commissions, performance bonuses, or owning stock. The goal is to disconnect your earnings from the time you spend. Think about a real estate agent. Selling a $3 million house takes about the same amount of work as a $1 million house, but the financial upside is just way, way bigger. Okay, so how do you actually do this? What are the moves? Here are two really powerful offensive plays. First, you've got to learn to job hop strategically. If you stay at one company for too long, your raises tend to slow down. But switching jobs can easily net you a 5 to 15% pay bump, simply because you're getting the current market rate. Second, invest in a high-value skill. I'm talking about dedicating 6 to 12 months to learning something like data analytics, or video editing, or even a trait like welding. These are skills that can dramatically boost what you're able to earn. All right, piling on the points with a great offense is awesome, but it means absolutely nothing if your defense is leaky. So now we've got to talk about playing defense. This is all about keeping more of the money you make and protecting it from being wasted. So here's a super simple but crazy effective defensive rule, especially when you're just starting out. Before you make any non-essential purchase, just ask yourself this one question: is this going to cost me more than 1% of my current net worth? So if your net worth is $20,000, that means you need to seriously pause and think before making a $200 purchase. It just forces you to weigh the true cost against your bigger goals. And if you're thinking, come on, a 1% rule, that's peanuts, I want you to look at this number. That simple little habit, spending just 1% of a $20,000 net worth each month on stuff you don't need, can end up costing you over $670,000 in lost investment growth over a 40-year career. That is the devastating power of small, consistent leaks in your financial boat. The next big defensive move is controlling something called lifestyle velocity, or as most of us know it, lifestyle inflation. It's so tempting, right? You get a raise and you immediately think about upgrading your car, your apartment, your vacations. But true fulfillment, that usually comes from experiences, not from status symbols. By keeping your expenses stable even as your income goes up, you widen that gap between what you earn and what you spend. And that gap, that's where wealth is built. And for our last defensive play, you have got to learn how to negotiate. I know it can feel awkward, but it's a skill that pays you back over and over and over again. Whether it's your salary, your car insurance, or even your cable bill, the process is always the same. Know what you want, know your absolute bottom line, and know what you're going to do if it doesn't work out. Trust me, a single 15-minute phone call can often save you hundreds of dollars a year. It's a no-brainer. Okay, so we've got our offense and our defense. The final piece of the puzzle is building a system that makes all of this work on autopilot. This is how you make your plan work without having to rely on sheer willpower every single day. The whole point of a system is to take you out of the equation, to remove the daily temptation and the decision fatigue. So you want to automate everything you possibly can: your utilities, your rent or mortgage, your credit card bills. But the two most important things to automate are the ones that build your wealth: your transfer to savings, and your contribution to investments. Set them to happen the very day you get paid. The psychology here is simple. You can't spend money that you never even see hit your main checking account. So what happens when you get a windfall, a bonus at work, maybe a tax refund? Use the 90-10 rule. It is a brilliant, balanced approach. You take 10% of that money and you go have fun with it. You absolutely deserve it. But the other 90%, that goes straight to your investments. You just pretend it never even existed. If you invested 90% of a $3,000 tax refund every year, that alone could add an extra $133,000 to your net worth over 20 years. This next one is such a simple habit, but it has a huge psychological impact. One study found that 2/3 of Americans don't track their net worth at all. They have no idea. So just by taking the time to calculate yours, say once every few months, you immediately join the minority that does. And like the saying goes, what gets measured gets managed. The simple act of tracking your progress is often the best motivation there is. And that really brings us to the ultimate piece of the system, the foundation for everything, your own knowledge. Investing in your financial education has an infinite return on investment. Every concept you learn builds on the last one, letting you make better and better decisions for the rest of your life. It is the one investment that is absolutely guaranteed to pay dividends. So there it is, the complete game plan. Play offense to increase your income, play defense to protect that wealth, and build an automated system to make it all happen consistently. The key now, of course, is to move from knowing this stuff to actually doing it. So I'm going to leave you with a direct challenge, not a suggestion, a challenge. Don't just watch this and then move on with your day. Pick one thing, just one, from this entire game plan. Are you going to automate that savings transfer? Are you going to make one phone call to negotiate a bill? What is the one move you are going to make today to start changing your financial future?